going on the gate, I know you had gone over this race in your mind, probably over how you thought would develop.
I didn't see that one.
I
played it over in my mind a hundred times, but I never saw this, this sort of a styled run race at the beginning. I honestly thought that he would be very forwardly placed, actually, probably if not in front, just sitting right off of Gun Runner. I thought the 2-horse, a local horse, would show some speed too as well early, going into the first turn. As we're all loading here, the filly next to me is really acting up in there. I have a guy with me, and he's handling both of us. And the rider on the filly's not wanting him in there, and I'm telling him to, to pull my horse up closer. And he's trying to do, us both justice, which was exactly right. And so the guy asked him to get back again. As I look to my right, as the last horse is loading in, and so the guy stepped back away, which he was told to do by the rider on the inside, and it was too late for me to ask for help, but I still thought he was going to break okay because he was looking down the doors, but it was real windy, and the bell there, if they even have one, is not near as loud, and he just got away just a tad slow, and she made a right-hand turn and pretty much hip-checked me really hard, and down you can see right there, bam, just really hit me, and next thing you know, the outside's coming in, the inside's coming back out again, and I literally got stopped to a walk. And I just thought to myself right here, is like, oh my God, how could this just happen? We've come all this way. But I had to stop thinking that way. Right away, I went into plan Z, which is Zenyatta mode. Figured I'd done this enough times with her, we could do it from back here, because I know he's got that kind of talent. The only thing was he was struggling with a kickback early on around this first turn, but I couldn't wheel him out of it because it's going to lose too much ground after getting away and getting knocked around like that. So I just bided my time and hoped that he would finally start running into it, which he did just before we straightened up down the backside, which was a good thing because he actually made up a little ground then. And then once we got to the backside right here, I was able to tip him out just enough to get him halfway out of the dirt, and I mean, he jumped into the bridle. Gave me a really good feeling right here, and I actually covered him back up because he was getting to him too quick. So I didn't want him to make that big middle move and then get hung all the way wide, all the way around there. So I actually tucked back in behind him because he handled it well and he jumped on the bridle so good. I tucked back in just to save some sort of ground, which I was able to do here. I had spotted opportunity. I just started following him. I was able to cut the corner and go inside. See, I'm only about 3-4 wide right here, which ain't bad. But then he got to him so fast, you see, that I went ahead and wheeled out, because if I follow opportunity on through, I was going to have to tap on the brakes to wait for him to clear the horse so I could get back out again. So I went ahead and did it, which was a good move because I was a heads up with opportunity by the time we even got to the quarter pole and was on my way. Mutahij kind of went to wheel out and get some clear running and kind of bumped me, and that just sent my horse forward again. It was kind of a blessing in disguise, another one. And then right here, I mean, man, he gets by with him with an eighth mile to go. And it's just well within himself, and I'm just at awe here. I'm not too sure that this actually just happened. I mean, I'm numb. I cannot believe this horse just did what he did. It's just not supposed to happen. It's just not supposed to happen, and he's just galloping out. And I'm thinking right here, did that just? I looked in front of me and behind me a couple of times. I'm sure I'm in front. I cannot believe he just passed everybody, man. It was crazy. It was the weirdest feeling. Just thank God that, sometimes things happen for a reason. Meant for a much better race. I think it got to show how great he truly was, overcoming all that, other than just breaking well and drawing off and winning by, 10. I mean, he had to overcome so much adversity, and I think it showed how great he truly is. And to still win within himself, I mean, I could have got down
to another gear.
Oh yeah, I truly believe that, and he would have kept running on. I mean, the distance, which is incredible. I mean, 1.25 miles just doesn't seem to be nothing to him. It doesn't take much out of him. He's got air. He's got stamina. It's just crazy, man. I don't know where he gets it from or what it is, and from his breeding on both sides, actually. But his mechanics, everything he does just comes so easy to him that he doesn't wear himself out. Everything is forward. Everything is forward. It's never climbing or never.
He just levels off.
He just levels off, and it's as if someone's rolling you down a hill. It just runs just so smooth down. It's crazy.
Did he, when you made the lead and you had another gear, I saw you look over at the screen, and then you...
Well, I just wanted to make sure no one was coming to my outside. And I already knew I passed the whole field, but you never know when someone re-rallies, so I just wanted to make sure that, maybe Mutahij got to my outside and he'll come running. And I did let him kind of, he'd already had the race won, and I thought we had done enough, and I wasn't asking him for any more. So, I'd let off the accelerator just a little bit, and he was just cruising on by. So I wanted to make sure that, geez, I didn't want to leave any stone unturned at that point. I wanted to make sure no one was coming to my outside. So I was able to look in the big Teletron, which they have a huge one there, and see that he was well clear, and I could just thank the Lord after that, really, because it was just incredible what he did. Things work out for a reason sometimes, and it just made for certainly a much more spectacular race to watch and to be at. And then I think he showed more of how great he truly is by having to overcome all that than if he would have been laying second and just drew off and win by 6, 7, or 8. I don't think people would have been talking about it near as much as they are now. He proved that he doesn't need to have a racetrack, a certain style of running. He can overcome adversity, bumping, get knocked around, and nothing seems to faze him. He's just a solid horse, man. He's just so well-rounded. It's incredible. Most horses can't do things like that. He can ship. He can go to any kind of racetrack, any surface. It was muddy, rainy that day. He's ran at Saratoga where it's deeper, more taxing, more trying racetrack. He got over that well. His mechanics are incredible. He just gets over anything. I think he'd run on grass. I think he'd do anything you asked him to do, really. Just blessed, so blessed to have a horse like him. And he's a horse sent from God, I'm telling you. He's amazing.
Wow. And what happened, I saw you feeding him carrots the other day and I didn't notice until, my son told me, Dad, he doesn't have many
his
teeth
teeth.
up front. What happened there?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know if he knocked him out when he was younger or whatever, but he gets around well with it. He has no problem with it. He don't seem to care as long as he don't care.
The back teeth to chew on.
Yeah, he's got the back teeth, and, but he doesn't seem to faze him one bit. Of course, he's paid enough money now. If he wanted to have a whole reconstructed
profile,
some sort of teeth put in, I'm sure they could. But he's fine.
He's just. I never thought I'd see a horse that Man of War growing up. I just read about Man of War, and I saw Secretariat, but this one, you can put him in the same breath, I think.
People love to compare, horses, and I'm just not one that likes to do that. In their given time, and no one was going to beat the great Secretariat during his time. No one was going to beat the great Man of War during his time. Zenyatta. The list goes on. They're just the greatest at what they're doing at that time. Who knows what would happen if they if you put them all together. But I can truly say without a doubt that he's just got something that's a little more special.
And you've ridden some great ones
I've
over the
been
years.
so blessed to have ridden some great horses, but this one, I don't know if I've ever been on one that can just keep coming at you and just keep going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And I haven't hit a wall with him. Hopefully I never have to. Good Lord's willing, we never have to. We never have to see it because so far I haven't gotten to it yet.
Well, and you knew after the Travis at Saratoga, you could be any kind. Because I remember.
Well, he never run in the stake. First time going a mile and a quarter. You'd only run, Then you're doing it at Saratoga, that deep sandy racetrack. In the Travers with a bunch of extremely talented horses in the race, and for him to do what he did that day, to run under 2 minutes, was just phenomenal. It was crazy. So that was if anyone had any indication that this was all going to happen, that probably was the point where everyone really realized, wow, how good is this horse? How good really is he? To draw away and beat those horses by, I think it was a total of 13 lengths there at the end. And to set the fastest time ever run in the Travers is it's just crazy. It's mind-blowing. And so, to look back at that and to see what he's done now, it shouldn't be, such a big surprise. The big surprise was what he overcame, I think, more than anything. For whatever reason it all happened, it just made for an unbelievable race. They're saying now it's going down as at least the top 3, if not the top Dubai World Cup of all time. And there's been some great horses that's running it, so it made for a much more spectacular race.
And galloping out, he Did he take a deep breath?
He was fine, man. He galloped out so good and strong. Came back.
Wasn't tired or
Didn't
at all?
seem to be. Well, very little. I mean, but not like a horse is supposed to be after
Right.
doing what he did. And I think we all expected and knew that he could win. But you're not supposed to win after that happens. It's just not supposed to happen. Not with those kind of horses. In another country, you know, you're not even in your own backyard, and to get, you know, covered the way he did and knocked around the way he did and make up that kind of ground with those kind of horses, that's not supposed to happen. And that's the difference between him, to me, and the others that I've been blessed to ride, is he could overcome it. And who knows, maybe if I'd have broke better, I would have got smashed even harder. So sometimes, like I said, things just happen for a reason. Just trust in him, follow the flow, man, and just keep on moving forward. And as long as he's, you know, he's fine and he's not hurt, which he wasn't, and the rest will come if it's meant to be. And it was certainly meant to be for him. He was determined of that, which, again, I can't stop talking about this race. People can't stop talking about this race. You know, they want to compare him to the greats and to this and that, which I'm very skeptical of that. I'm very, don't like to do that too often. But I gotta say, with him, you could honestly say he'd belong in a very good debate on if he was one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. And again, that's debatable, but he certainly belongs in being debated on. So. Incredible horse. Arrowgate.
Leading trainers and industry professionals agree. Animal Element has breakthrough cutting-edge products providing the foundation for the health and performance for our horses. To order now, go to jockeytalk360.com.